Okay, by my reckoning, this is part 150. Excellent, alright. We begin staring at this fucking disgusting creation. Look at that fucking thing. Ugh. Yikes, ugh. Not even the aperoids were as... Oof, alright. She took out just then, she took out a Pokeball. She being captured by, these guys. I think it's Team Galactic or something, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it is. Team Galaxy, Team Galactic, yeah, it said down there. She took out a Pokeball, she tossed it in the air, and a Purugly came from it. I don't get your point, still, Maylene said, staring at the Purugly. I'm not surprised. I just used supersonic to torture you three from what you have done to me, she said, smoking. Oh, shit. You wouldn't dare, Chris said, surprised. Team Galactic battle music. Fuck you. Watch me. Purugly, use supersonic on those meddlers, she shouted. Her Purugly opened his mouth and ultrasonic waves came colliding with the cage. The three blocked their ears in pain as the sound of the attack was hurting them. Oh, stop it, Chris shouted. Never, as cruel as this may seem, you need to be punished for stealing our eggs. And my rank as well. Humiliating me in front of Cyrus means crossing over the line, Commander Mars said. Those eggs weren't for you, Maylene said. Do I care? Purugly, double potency. This is probably going to cut off at some point, but I'll keep going until then. Purugly nodded, and the supersonic attack grew in size. The three were screaming in pain. Fuck, the three were screaming in pain. Blocking their ears wasn't enough to protect them. Well, that's it. Pichu, use Thunderbolt, Chris said as he glanced at Pichu, who tried to stand up. He did, and he charged electricity from his body, and a lightning went towards Purugly. The fat cat stopped his attack, gritting his fangs. Now use Tackle to destroy the bars, Chris said, pointing at the bars. Pichu rammed his head towards the bars to broke them. Why doesn't she just, like, call security or something? Mars, I mean. You know, oh, shit, alright. Gotta plug this fucker in. Now use Tackle to destroy the bars, Chris said, pointing at the bars. Pichu rammed his head towards the bars to broke them. Don't think I'm going to let go away that easily, either, Mars said, and she ordered her Purugly to use Supersonic again. The Pokemon closed his mouth, and he gathered air with his nose to launch his attack again. Use Thunderbolt again, quickly, Chris said, and Pichu charged more electricity, and he fired it at Purugly again. Pichu continued his plan to destroy the bars with his head. It was a little painful, but he continued to do it. I hear something coming from the other side of the treadmill, Riley's Lucario said. Lucario! Chris, that's it! Chris's Lucario glowed in an intense light, and he ran to the treadmill. In doing so, all the personnel in the base... Nothing personnel. All the personnel inside the base noticed them. Forget about the plan! We need to attack them now! Maylene's Lucario said, glowing too. He jumped high in the air, and he charged an aura sphere, shooting it at some machines around the area. Stop them! We can't allow them to destroy this base! One man shouted, taking out a Pokeball. I was going to say he sounds like David Byrne, but he really doesn't. One man shouted, taking out a Pokeball. Every single member took out a Pokeball, and all of them called different kinds of Pokemon out of the Pokeballs. Don't they all just have, like, Puruglies and... I remember, when I saw Purugly, I remembered it. And it was Purugly, and then there was one other one, but it was pretty much just variations on those two. Ones that look vaguely evil. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Oh, shit, okay. Every single member took out a Pokeball, and all of them called different kinds of Pokemon out of the Pokeballs. Riley's Lucario and Cynthia's Lucario stood in a fighting stance, and all the Pokemon lunged at them. You won't escape so easily from the cage. Purugly, use Supersonic again. A big explosion was heard in all the base, and Purugly stopped, and he noticed the noise coming from the treadmill. Huh? What was that big noise? Commander Mars asked. The back of the treadmill was suddenly glowing, and Chris's Lucario came from it, and he quickly punched Purugly to the wall. Purugly crashed to the wall, and he fell unconscious with Swirl is his eyes. Just be grateful Lucario didn't fucking rip you apart. Dogs and cats. Purugly! Commander Mars ran to her Purugly. You little bastard! How dare you to hurt my Purugly! Chris's Lucario roared. Chris and Maylene unblocked their ears and opened their eyes, and they noticed Chris's Lucario glaring at Commander Mars and Perugly. So, with that kind of emotion, you're not going to scare me. Chris's Lucario stomped the floor, and it broke, leaving a huge mark of destruction on it. The tough type, huh? She asked before she called back her Perugly. Well, since you want to rescue them so badly, then go ahead. I don't care about this anymore, she said before she walked away. All right. I don't like the way she said that, Maylene whispered. Lucario, Chris said, smiling. His Lucario looked at the cage and he stood in front of the bars. He grabbed 2 of them with each hand and he broke them without any problem. Chris stood up and ran at his Lucario to hug him. I was a little worried, Chris, his Lucario said, rubbing Chris's head. Where is my Lucario? Maylene asked, looking around. Maylene! Lucario! Her Lucario came from the treadmill and the two hugged each other. Maylene was smiling happily. Pichu! Let's get out of here! Pichu said, rubbing his head from the damage he received after hitting the bars. And it was pointless as well, because Lucario just did it in an instant. Right, we need to escape from this place, Chris's Lucario said. Chris, Pichu, Maylene and her Lucario nodded. All of them ran inside the treadmill. Are you tired yet? Riley's Lucario asked, panting. Cynthia's Lucario was at his right, looking back. No, and you? He asked, panting. A lot of Pokemon were laying unconscious on the floor, probably because they defeated them. Well, yeah, when you put it like that. They are too powerful. We need to escape now, a member said to the other. Just then, Chris and the others came from the treadmill, and they joined the other Lucarios in the battle. Pichu, behind you! Chris yelled as a Golbat was going to bite Pichu from his back. I think that's the evolution of Zubat. I won't look it up. Pichu ducked in terror, but Chris's Lucario punched the Golbat in the head, making the big bat to crash in some boxes, and Pichu thanked Lucario with a smile, saying his name in happiness. Now, as we always do it, Lucario, Maylene said to her Lucario, and both positioned their hands like they were going to launch Aura Spheres. Obviously, Maylene's Lucario did a sphere except of Maylene. Oh, beautiful. Aura Sphere! Maylene shouted, and both pushed their hands in the same time, and the Aura Sphere exploded right into the belly of a Rhydon, who fell on the floor, fainted. Now, Pichu, use Thunder, Chris said as Pichu gathered all his electricity again, while Zubats, Poochyenas, and Golbats were surrounding him. Pichu opened his little arms, realizing all his electricity, and paralyzing all the Pokemons surrounding him. They fell on their faces in the floor, and Pichu was tilting his head from the exhaustion. You did a great job, Pichu, Chris said, grabbing Pichu on his arms, but Pichu was still dizzy. What are we going to do now? Almost all our Pokemon were wiped out, a galactic grunt said to another. No, we need the order of Commander Mars first. This is an order. Leave the base at once. I repeat, this is an order. Leave the base at once, Mars said over the mic from another place. Run, every member shouted, taking back their Pokemon to their Pokeballs. Bunch of cowards, Cynthia's Lucario said, crossing his arms. Now let's go, Chris said. All of them ran outside the base to the gate. After passing through the gate, they stopped to catch their breath, and the crowd cheered for them. Again with this fucking crowd. What fucking crowd? Music stops. I'm just gonna call it off there. Alright, so I made a fair bit of progress today. I did about 20 parts in the span of one day. Here's to 150 more. Probably be a lot more than that, but it's a milestone, to be sure, of sorts. Yeah, alright. Well, see you next time.